Today, we'll be looking at why most people overestimate how much they need for retirement and why this leads them to retire way later than they actually should. Over our years in retirement planning, we've discovered that most people are actually wealthier than they think when they retire. Unfortunately, that realization comes a little too late for many people, leading them to delay retirement unnecessarily. And that's why we're making this video today, to show you why you might be closer to a comfortable retirement than you ever imagined. Let's get into it. First, let's establish the problem and some core beliefs behind it that need to be broken. What is the problem? Many people delay retirement because they underestimate their financial readiness, missing out on years of potential retirement enjoyment despite having adequate savings. You might be overestimating the amount needed to retire comfortably, clinging to generic benchmarks like saving 10x your salary by age 67, but retirement isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's deeply personal, and relying on outdated advice can lead to unnecessary delays. Traditional advice like the 4% rule or rigid savings multiples fails to account for today's realities. Healthcare costs are rising faster than inflation. The power of tax-efficient withdrawals can play a major factor in your net income, and lifestyles are evolving in today's world and ever-changing. Rigid guidelines often scare people into working longer than necessary, creating anxiety rather than confidence. Many retirees fall into this trap due to a fear of running out of money, and this fear often stems from market volatility, where people are worrying that their investments won't sustain them through downturns. Healthcare uncertainty, they delay retirement just to save more just in case. And unrealistic expectations, aiming for an unnecessarily high savings number, which can create paralysis of motivation to move forward. But the real cost isn't financial. It's the years of life missed waiting for a perfect readiness that may never come. See, these challenges can lead you to retiring too late and are often rooted in deep-seated beliefs. Let's break down a few of them now. Number one, an emotional attachment to work. You're afraid your identity is tied to a career. Many derive purpose and identity from their profession and struggle to envision a life without it. And there's a fear of boredom, and without a clear post-retirement goal, you might feel uneasy about how you will spend time in retirement. Number two, you have a fear of outliving your savings. Two things to consider here. Longevity risk, so advances in healthcare, mean people are living longer, and that actually might make you worry that your savings won't last through decades of retirement. And then there's market risk that we kind of already talked about. You have concerns that a significant market downturn could reduce your nest egg and force you to rethink your retirement lifestyle, which leads to hesitation from giving up your salary. Number three, a lack of a clearly defined income plan. You have uncertainty about income streams. Without a strategy to turn savings into reliable income, you might feel unprepared to cover regular expenses. You're also unsure about Social Security claiming decisions, so misunderstanding when to start claiming your benefits could create anxiety about timing your overall retirement. You see, these deep-rooted beliefs of our fears often lead people into thinking that you can't retire, which can then lead to following outdated savings rules that ignore your full financial picture. Like waiting till you've paid off your home, or having a large reduction in expenses, or not claiming Social Security benefits at the optimal time. There's also the fear of not having enough. That could cause you to work extra years, accumulating wealth that you don't need while missing out on the early active retirement years when you're healthy enough to enjoy them. Then there's traditional retirement calculations that fail to account for how expenses naturally decrease in retirement through eliminated mortgages, loss of work-related costs, lower taxes, and the eventual wind down of your retirement lifestyle. So why do I believe you may be more ready than you think? Well, with thoughtful approach and proper withdrawal strategy, you might already have what you need to retire earlier than expected. And here's why. You can calculate your portfolio income needs. So knowing your annual spending requirements and then aligning your portfolio with a proper framework to meet them is more important than just hitting some arbitrary savings goal. The knowledge of tax-efficient strategies can help in this. So we have strategies like Roth conversions, tax loss harvesting, and staggering withdrawals can all stretch your dollars further. And also flexibility is on your side. So retiring doesn't mean you have to stop earning entirely. If you love what you do, part-time work or side projects can supplement income while you enjoy your newfound financial freedom that comes with understanding your portfolio income needs. Now, before we move on, you might be wondering whether oversaving is really as bad as it sounds for your situation. Well, what we've discovered is that many retirees who end up oversaving also fall into what we call the fear-based retirement trap when they enter retirement. This is a pattern of problematic spending where retirees fear losing their wealth after years of saving. It's one of the easiest yet most hidden paths to a regretful retirement. We don't want you to leave this video wondering if you've saved enough or feel like you're being impacted by fear-based retirement planning. So to help you avoid this costly mistake, we've created a 3-minute "How much do I need to retire" quiz that will help show whether you're already wealthy enough to retire. The best part, for anyone who is hoping to retire within the next 5 years that completes this quiz, we will personally create a short video analyzing your situation so you can see if you're on the path or not to be one of the many who could retire years earlier than you think, rather than dying with a substantial unspent wealth. So before continuing, click the link below to take the quiz. Don't let fear trap you into working years longer than necessary only to leave behind wealth that you could have enjoyed in retirement. Let's run through a hypothetical example. We have Steve and Sharon. They're 61 and 59 years old, respectively, and they're just starting on their retirement planning journey. So what current challenges are they facing? They're trying to find that balance between risk and reward in a volatile market, and they realize that they aren't as great at timing the market as they'd hoped. There's keeping up with complex financial instruments and market conditions. That's very time consuming for them, and uncertainty about how economic changes such as inflation will impact their investments and their retirement savings level is keeping them from feeling confident that they have saved enough to retire when Steve turns 65. So what does their situation look like? They have $580,000 in savings, but they believe they're behind because they're comparing themselves to arbitrary targets, not realizing this already provides significant retirement income potential. They currently have a combined income of $125,000 a year with monthly expenses of $6,400 that will decrease to $4,200 in retirement due to eliminated work expenses, lower taxes, and other lifestyle changes we'll get into. But this makes their current savings much more adequate than they realize. And Sharon's also going to receive a small windfall of inheritance, roughly $90,000 from her father's estate upon his passing. Now, how much are they going to spend in retirement? Currently, monthly spending is $6,400, a figure that they wrongly think that they're going to need to maintain in retirement. After taking inventory, Steve and Sharon realize that their monthly expenses 4 years from now will drop to $4,200 in retirement due to an eliminated mortgage of $1,200, work expenses of over $600 a month, and being in a lower tax bracket. When we consider Steve and Sharon's estimated Social Security income, which will be $2,000 a month when Steve retires, and then at $3,100 combined when Sharon starts her benefits 4 years after, with these numbers, we plug them into our portfolio income needs calculator and learn that Steve and Sharon need to net $13,200 per year from their retirement accounts in order to have adequate savings to last until Steve turns at least 95 years old. So they would have to have a withdrawal amount of at least $396,000. Well, Steve and Sharon already have $580,000 saved for retirement, so the next steps would be to create priorities based on one of the 3 frameworks you fall into based on your portfolio income needs. That's shortfall, stronger, or sharpen. And in this case, we'd put Steve and Sharon in our stronger framework and prioritize Social Security timing, distribution optimizing, which is withdrawing from tax accounts in a tax-efficient manner, and investment allocation strategies to make sure that those accounts are properly structured for moderate growth without massive risk. Steve and Sharon's situation perfectly demonstrates why people retire later than they need to. While they're delaying retirement thinking that they need more in savings, they're already richer than they realize. Their belief is that they need to reach some arbitrary number like $1.25 million, which is 10 times their current salary, to replace the $6,400 in monthly expenses. It's got them working extra years unnecessarily, when in reality, understanding that their $4,200 in retirement expenses combined with their $580,000 in savings shows that they're much closer to retirement than they imagine. Now that you know why many people end up working years longer than they needed to, you need to understand one thing. These unnecessary delays are just symptoms of outdated retirement thinking. Don't walk away from this video thinking that you need to work until some arbitrary age or some savings number. What we've discovered after analyzing thousands of retirement journeys is truly eye-opening. Many people are actually retirement ready years before they realize it. Between overlooked assets, tax advantages, and strategic income planning, we have found that proper analysis often reveals you're closer to retirement than you've ever imagined. But sometimes it's hard to determine your exact situation just off of general advice like this. And that's why we developed the 365 Retirement Plan Quiz. And here's how it works. You input some basic information about your savings and when you'd like to retire, as well as a few other details, and our team will individually review your situation and send a personalized video that walks through your retirement situation, giving feedback on how you can achieve your retirement goals and, more importantly, what the next step is for you to start on your retirement journey. All you have to do is click on the link below and fill out the questionnaire. Until next time, take care.